Hello and welcome to this 70 Sundays programme. This week it's the FA Cup semi-final between Manchester United and Leeds United from 1977. And join me this week, Alex Stepney. Alex, we lost the 76 Cup final to Southampton at Wembley, and I remember after it, Tommy Docherty promising the fans we'd be back 12 months later. I didn't think it was possible, but it happened. What was your own thoughts?
I didn't think it was possible either. You know, it was like because losing that final, I thought I'd lost my only chance of winning the FA Cup, because they don't, they don't come along that often, do they? You know, but when we got there, Lou, you know, it was something that you dream of. Let's have another crack at it, and especially against Leeds for me, because I lost against them in the semi-final in 1970. So it was a double sort of revenge I needed.
And how did you feel this team, Al, this Leeds team, compared to the team that beat you in 1970?
Well, Leeds team then was a very hard team. They were, throughout the 60s, they'd sort of been on top of Manchester United all the way through the 60s, basically in league and cups. So it was down to the way we were playing. I thought we'd come back from the second division and really played well since then. Tommy Docherty, he'd put an entertaining team on the pitch, didn't he? And we had two flying wingers and himself and Stuart up front. It was great.
And fierce rivalry at the time between Manchester United and Leeds United.
Yeah, it was fierce rivalry. I think it was more hatred, to be honest, between the supporters. I mean, your derby games against Manchester City and, of course, up the road with Liverpool were, they were fans' games more than anything, fans' rivalry. But with Leeds, it was a hate game. And
two players, Alec, in the Leeds side who eventually played for us, Joe Jordan and Gordon McQueen. What do you remember about their performances on the day against us?
Well, I mean, Big Gordon was, Big Gordon, wasn't he? I mean, at the back he was colossus in the air, and you'd know as well as I do that he went for every ball and he wasn't afraid to sort of knock you about a bit. But Big Joe
liked to knock you about a bit.
He liked to knock me about a bit. I mean, I finished up with no teeth. I think Joe finished up with no teeth. In our careers. So it was always going to be a hard tussle. But you knew that it was honesty in that respect when he went for a ball.
And we went 2 goals up, Al, and penalty kick against us.
Yeah.
Joe was involved in that. I'll never forgive him for it, because to this day, the more I see it, the more I'm of the opinion, and I'm not scared to tell him either, he elbowed Jimmy Nicholl right in the jaw and got a penalty kick for it.
I can't believe the referee gave that. I mean, it's something I think I wish the referee, I could see him again and say, you shouldn't have done that, because you really put us under pressure. After being 2-0 up and we were coasting. But it was never a penalty, and I thought I was quite unlucky really not to get the penalty from Alan Clark.
And then I remember close to the end, at the other end of the pitch, Gordon Hill going through, being pushed in the back blatantly in the penalty box. And for some reason, again, the referee didn't give us a penalty. Just then we were under pressure, if you remember.
That's right. I mean, it's like everything else. When you're 2-0 up, it wasn't so bad. You could sort of get through it. But if they come back, and your team comes back, especially the semi-final, and they come back from a dubious blooming penalty, you wonder then, is it going to be your day or is it going to be theirs? And it puts you under pressure.
And of course, you'd won a European Cup medal, Alan. I'd imagine at the time an FA Cup medal coming sort of close to the end of your career, an FA Cup medal was high on your list.
Well, it was, because, like I said, when, getting beat the season before against Southampton, I thought my treble medal had gone, but you've got to believe the doc, haven't you?
and looking back at the Southampton goal, do you still believe it was offside?
I'm sure it was offside.
Yes, so
it was just it was a Welsh referee, Mr. Clive Thomas, who didn't really like me anyway.
Well, it's time for the game. Sit back and enjoy the 1977 FA Cup semi-final, Manchester United versus Leeds United.
Two sides who met at this stage in 1965 and 1970, both times Leeds winning after a replay. A crowd of 55,000 adding enormously to the atmosphere of the occasion. Those are the ones inside with tickets. If they hadn't got a ticket, they had to take to the trees. The Leeds side, Alan Clark passed fit during the week. It's a strong and experienced side. Paul Reaney, for example, played in both those previous semi-finals in 65 and 70 against Manchester United, and Peter Lorimer will be their substitute. Manchester United, no problems at all for manager Tommy Docherty, a full-strength side, and of course it's virtually the side that took United to the final last season. But there is one important change, because a man who's given an added balance as well as penetration to the side in the past few months is in fact Jimmy Greenoff, the striker they brought from Stoke City. He presents quite a danger to Leeds United, and a man who's always a danger is Alan Clark of Leeds, even though he says himself he's not quite 100% fit. Referee Tom Reynolds, formerly of Swansea, now a hotelier in Wiltshire, and now we're all ready for the start.
So Manchester United kick off. in red shirts and white shorts attacking the goal to our left. Leeds in their all-yellow strip, and Wembley awaits the winner. The manager of Leeds United, Jimmy Armfield, saying before the game, Wembley now is a carrot dangling before us. All we've got to do is eat it. Well, to eat it, they've also got to devour a Manchester United side that'll come hard at them with some attacking football, and with the knowledge that they came here a year ago and beat Derby County in a semi-final then, before losing at Wembley to Southampton. Here's Alex Stepney. McQueen up well. All two United players, Macari and McElroy, going for that same ball. A little back flick there from Gordon Hill that could have caused a bit of damage to that Leeds defender. McElroy then with the throw for Manchester United. Jimmy Greenoff, back for Sammy McElroy. Pearson waiting in the middle. On the far side is Koppel, but headed away there well for Leeds United by Peter Hampton. Clark, a very competitive element in this game already. Cherry into the space for Curry. Reaney making one of his famous overlaps, and there it is, beautifully weighted for him. Down, no, it's not. Reaney couldn't quite get it, just played a little too firmly there by Curry. Great player, Paul Reaney, played in the 1965 semi-final against Manchester United and in 1970. Clark, played on again for Curry. Looking promising this for Leeds. McElroy desperate to get back, forcing Curry away. And doing well. But a throw then. Oh, there's a little bit of flick up there between Reaney and Hill. As the nerves and the tension begin to show. So here's Stepney. Pearson. Very difficult indeed for players to judge the ball in this gusty wind. Koppel. And the two Greys are after him. Frankie and Eddie. And a throw to Manchester United. Black clouds over the hills above Sheffield, and judging by the flags, the wind is bringing them this way. Koppel, and a corner. First one of the game. So Hill with this corner, as Leeds organise themselves in their penalty area. On the wind, a back header by Houston, and Jimmy Greenoff. The break they wanted, with 8 minutes gone. There's the corner from Gordon Hill. Houston's beautiful back header. A missed kick there. And the number 8, Jimmy Greenoff. 1-0 to Manchester United, 8 minutes gone. Frankie Gray's error that put the ball invitingly for Jimmy Greenoff, himself a former Leeds United player. Well, a tremendous start for United. Leeds, a team of enormous character and capable normally of soaking up all the punishment that can be thrown at them. They'll have to soak up a lot now, but what is more important, they've got to come out and create chances themselves. Here's Houston, whose back flick from that Hill corner really opened the way. Greenoff to Hill. And back it goes from Buchan to Stepney. Brian Greenough. McQueen in there. Macari. Pearson. Handball. Good decision. The long kick from Madeley. The wind there. Frankie Gray right in there. Clark right in there. Goal kick. The long free kick there from Madeley. Joe Jordan winning a good ball in the air. And Clark over the top. Hard work for Alex Stepney, hitting it against the wind as strong as it is here. Just over the halfway line, McQueen winning it well in the air. Here's Jordan. McElroy to Hill. Houston. McQueen is there, taking no chances. Brian Greenough. Macari. Crowd enjoying that, at least the Manchester United area is. A throw to Man United. Greenough. Hill planted high and hopefully forward. Oh, that time Pearson won it in the air, and it might come now for Koppel. That's the second one. A brilliant goal for Manchester United. Stevie Koppel. What a start. 15 minutes of a semi-final. When you're all knotted up with nerves, there's nothing better than 2 goals in the first 15 minutes to make you forget them. Pearson winning that well in the air from McQueen, and as it comes through here to Koppel, that's 2-0. Well, it might go a long way towards killing the cup tie as well. It's going to take an awful lot for Leeds to pull this back now. Well, they're the silent men from Yorkshire. They're side 2 down. Pearson's header. McQueen, Frank Gray, Curry, Clark, Eddie Gray. Played on for Alan Clark. Now, this is a chance for Leeds. Oh, and Clark, of all people, missed it. He usually has those for breakfast and really needed that so very badly. Straight through, under pressure from Brian Greenough, and Stepney coming out a whisker wide. Well, 2 United defenders went for that, and here's Eddie Gray. Getting in a bit of a tangle there, and Gray with a little chip. Can Jordan get in there for that one? He can't, but can Curry? Oh. Well, that all stemmed from a fault by Jimmy Nicholl on the far side, and Curry in the end very nearly made him pay for it. Just look at the muddle here, and it's Nicholl who loses it to Eddie Gray. Delightful chip by Gray. Jordan menacing at the far post. It comes out, and Curry has to hit it from an angle that proves impossible. The rain coming down really heavily now into the faces of Manchester United, but they really haven't a care in the world. Pearson, Koppel, Flicked on again this time for McCarry. McQueen right there, and somehow McCarry got it back well. Hill. Oh, and Stewart had to get down. The virtue of never feeling that the ball is out of play until it finally crosses the line. And that was a beautiful example there of McCarry. That looked odds on going over the line, but he hooks it back, and Leeds are vulnerable until Stewart saves from Hill. Leeds trying so hard now to find some way back into this game. Stopped there by Jimmy Nicholl. Beaten Walsall, Queen's Park Rangers, Southampton and Villa of Manchester United on the way to this final. And now well on the way to beating Leeds. Gray having his shot charged down by McCarry. They're getting out so quickly, and Nicholl, in fact, being fouled there by Tony Curry. Curry being called to Tom Reynolds, and a yellow card coming out. Yellow card. Greenoff, Nicholl, Koppel being forced back there by Peter Hampton. Nicholl forward, Gray right back there, McCarry pounding after him. Minutes to go to half-time. Bailey to Cherry. It's Curry. Bailey again. Curry lifting it high there again towards Jordan. Well, Koppel only kept that in for the benefit of Frank Gray and Leeds United. Here's Hampton with the cross. Cherry didn't get a header to it, but Curry did. Now will it come for Eddie Gray? Hit that well as he had to first time, but it was always going over. A long free kick, Curry's header, and it'll come through now there for Eddie Gray. A chance he had to take with the ball high and quickly. Greenoff. McCarry down as Leeds take it up. It's all right again. Curry with the throw. Clark. A touch for Eddie Gray. To the right foot, and Buchan. Well, I think his heart was a flutter there that easily. A slight mistiming, and that would have gone into the back of the net. But the man at the heart of the United defence knew just what he was doing. So it's a corner for Leeds. Anxiety can be seen there as Frankie Gray takes this corner for Leeds. Stepney just getting a fist to it in spite of Gordon McQueen right in front of him. And that's another corner. Well, there'll just about be time to take it and not much more. Curry curling it in again. The back header by Clark. McQueen right in there. And Cherry right in there. Oh, and it was put behind by McQueen. And that was a golden chance again for Leeds United on the stroke of half-time. The corner, and just watch the back flick here by Alan Clark. The chance falls for Trevor Cherry here. And when that's charged down by Buchan, it falls to McQueen, but it's past the United post. So it stays at 2-0 to United. Here's Gordon Hill. Pearson. Which suggests that although United have done a tremendous job and the lead is deserved, that if Leeds can just snatch something and get that tremendous psychological uplift, this semi-final is anything but over. As the whistle goes for half-time, the cheers from the Manchester United fans. You saw Steve Coppell a moment there, who scored the second goal for United. There's Jimmy Greenough, who got the first. Two of the goals that came in the first 16 minutes of the game. But still, uppermost in a lot of Leeds fans' mind will be that miss by Alan Clark when he was right through just after it, that could in fact yet be the most important moment of this FA Cup semi-final at Hillsborough. A lot to come still on this special cup tie edition of the big match today. A half-time score then at Hillsborough. Leeds United 0, Manchester United 2. We'll be right back for that. Welcome back then to Hillsborough, where it's windy and wildly exciting, and Manchester United 2-0 up. And Man United now with the wind at their back. A side that have twice beaten Leeds United in the league this season. And with Tommy Docherty, the Manchester United manager, having a birthday tomorrow, it's a good weekend for them to celebrate. Certainly the virtues that they've shown in the first half, one of hustling and chasing and running and never allowing Leeds United to get fully into their stride, have paid off. They've really worked for their lead, but here are Leeds with a corner and Pearson right back there to get it away. McQueen, high and hopeful and way off the target. Pearson, beautiful headwork again there by Pearson. Here's Coppell, Pearson charging on ahead of him. Pearson played wide for Nicol, making another good run. Played in lower this time, and Pearson couldn't quite adjust enough to turn back. And Leeds can't get it away yet. Now Frank Gray should be able to do it for them. Buchan, though he was impeded there by Jordan, knew just what he wanted to do. Nicol finding Stuart Pearson. Jimmy Greenoff's waiting in the middle, and so too was David Stewart. Pearson looking so lively, some brilliant work. He's getting through in the middle of the field with his little headers and his touch-ons, and this time rounding McQueen, and a good piece of goalkeeping by Stewart. Cherry, but straight for Houston. Jimmy Greenoff, beautiful ball played for Sammy McElroy. Pearson's waiting in the middle, he tried to turn it back for Coppell, and Cherry had done a beautiful shadowing job on Coppell. They just cannot get it away. United coming at them again. McElroy once more. Now Hill. There's the cross coming in. Reaney away for Leeds. Quarter of an hour, second half gone. And no break in the onslaught yet for Leeds United. McElroy turning it back to Jimmy Greenoff. Houston blasting it, deflected, and it finally came through to Stewart. Could so easily have been number 3. Played back nicely there by Jimmy Greenoff. The blast by Stuart Houston, the deflection. And in the end, Coppell couldn't quite get a touch. Alan Clark for Leeds. Played into the path of Cherry. Interesting, 2 against 2. Jordan is the other one, and here he is. Now, if he can get past Nicol, just look how... Oh, penalty! Penalty! Nicol has brought down Jordan, and Leeds now have a chance. This is the incident. Jordan getting past Jimmy Nicol, and that's what brought about the penalty, bringing him down. And now Alan Clark, who scored from the penalty spot last Saturday against Ipswich, now has one of the most important kicks of his career. I remember a World Cup penalty he scored for England in Mexico and against Poland at Wembley. A cool head, a sure shot, and sure Leeds need it now. and they've got it 2-1. Alan Clark has brought this game really back to life. Stepney, a left hand, despairingly touching it, but he couldn't stop it going into the net. And from a moment or two ago, with Manchester United pressing them back, Leeds looked to be out for the count, but now they've got it all back. 1-2 down, and with a chance now to really make Manchester United and their huge army of fans worry in the 22 minutes that remain. That's the incident, and a free kick already taken. Nicol. Hill ducking in low. McQueen. Man United bringing everybody back, and Curry is onside, but Stepney there a fraction before him, but they still haven't got it away, and the ball not out of play. Curry for Leeds. And it's going to be a throw to Manchester United. Leeds, 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 Leeds. And not so much noise now coming from Manchester United. Koppel being told to hurry along that throw. Pearson, Macari, and how Manchester United it is, must be grateful for that marvellous start. Hill, Green off, and Reaney, oh, he missed his chance. Hill, and Stewart was down. Hill didn't really clobber that in the way that he wanted to, unlike Paul Reaney to make a mistake like this. A nice 1-2 play between Hill and Jimmy Greenough. Reaney completely misses it, and Stewart saves him. Hill versus Reaney. McElroy. And Stewart bounced very awkwardly in front of him, and there were 3 Manchester United players within 2 yards of him, and he fumbled it for just a moment. This is a shot by McElroy. Just look at that bounce just in front of him, and look at those United players waiting for the slightest mistake. Houston being told by Stepney to get it away. Clark was a little too close for comfort, but he's only got it away as far as Tony Curry. Now can Curry engineer something here? He can! A great shot just over. Well, these little chances are coming Lee's way, and it's not over by any means yet. This powerful man with a powerful shot, and the midfield trickery to go with it. Getting a yard, but finding it also a yard too high. Bringing on their substitute, Peter Lorimer, the man with an even more powerful shot, of course. And Frank Gray coming off. Foul. Giving a free kick to Leeds United. And here's Hampton. Oh, there's space ahead of him. McQueen, Hill. Interesting ball because Pearson can get to it. Closing in on McQueen. Leeds getting men back. There's Pearson with a shot. Oh, and he had to fist that away. No penalty. Pearson, back for Koppel. Whistle gone, free kick to Leeds. Tremendous shot there by Pearson. And the goalkeeper making himself big as David Stewart did there, just to punch that away, get it away anywhere, give himself some breathing space, and a nudge in the back on Hill, not given as a penalty, and the whistle went for that push there, free kick to Leeds. McElroy with the throw. He's taking a lot of time, and Tom Reynolds won't allow that. In fact, he's blown the whistle. He's going across to have a word with McElroy, and he's going to give McElroy the yellow card for time wasting. When he can find his pencil. Sammy McElroy looks very displeased about it, but in the last minutes of a tense semi-final like this, when you're hanging on to a 2-1 lead, it's right that the referee ensures that the game is allowed to go very quickly from those dead ball situations. McElroy again with a throw, and he took it a lot quicker that time, you'll notice. Here's Jimmy Greenough. Back to McElroy again. Well, is this the moment? No, it's not. Stewart's there. And a quick throw is going to release Peter Hampton. Here's the slow motion of it. Straight to Stewart. And those victory chants are beginning to build amongst the mass of Manchester United fans now. The red and white scarves are being twirled. The banners are being waved, and the Leeds fans are getting ready to accept defeat. It's a throw to Leeds. We're into injury time, and any time that Tom Reynolds has had it on for time wasting, a throw for Leeds. And maybe the chance to fling one last desperate attack at Manchester United. Here's Lorimer. Play on, says the referee. Here's McQueen, who's come up. And United have brought them all back, determined to concede nothing. A check with both linesmen. And United, as they built that ball into the stand, Steve Koppel, are a matter of seconds away from the final. Those 2 goals in that opening 16 minutes have done it for them. Hard though Leeds have come at them in this second half. But here's Eddie Gray. It's a throw from Brian Greenough. So Leeds with a throw. Curry with a long throw. Clark trying to get the header in. It'll come for Cherry, who's hit it too high. And falls to the ground in the agony of that moment that might have saved everything for Leeds. The long throw, and there it comes out for Cherry. Slips and it goes over the top. Referee's done well, and really he's just really got one more job to do, and that's to blow the final whistle. But here's Koppel now for Manchester United. They'll want to keep the ball at that end of the field. A throw to Leeds. Cherry with it. To Lorimer. Time added on for injuries, and time wasting now amounts to 2 minutes. Lorimer takes it up again for Leeds. The long ball if Gray can get to it. But it's getting away from him. And that could well be the last chance, and it is. Manchester United are through to Wembley for the second successive year. Their players embrace each other as you look at the delighted Manchester United fans. Scenes of joy from the men in red, who worked and worked and worked to build that winning lead in the first half. and saw it whittled away by the penalty in the second and had one or two moments that scared them. But look at those scenes of joy from United, who badly want to repair the damage to their pride and make it up to their fans for that defeat in the final last year. Now they've got that chance, with the goals coming from Jimmy Greenough and Steve Coppell in the first 16 minutes, and Alan Clark from the penalty spot for Leeds in the second half. As they go off the field, Leeds 1, Manchester United 2. That is the score in this semi-final at Hillsborough.
Jimmy, it's a daft question, but how are you feeling, mate?
Well, that's it. Like you said, it's a daft question. I'm just over the moon. I thought I was fated never to get to Wembley in an FA Cup final, and it's finally happened. I just can't believe it.
Because the extraordinary thing is you've played on 4 losing FA Cup semi-final teams. It's almost a dream come true, isn't it?
It is, and when they got the penalty, I thought, aye, here it goes again, you know. It's going to be another replay and get beat in the replay, but no, the lads held on tremendous.
You got off to this dream start, of course, a goal from yourself and one from Stevie Coppell, and that was just the way that Tommy Docherty planned it, wasn't it?
It was exactly. We set off just as he wanted us to, and I don't think he could have asked for more.
And then came the penalty, the Leeds penalty you've spoken about, the foul on Joe Jordan, but was it a penalty, do you think, or not?
I couldn't see it. Someone ran in front of me just as Jimmy Nicholl tackled him. I couldn't see him.
Tremendous display from Manchester United. Were you disappointed with Leeds?
No, I think when we set the stall out, you know, no one can live with us, and I think for the first half they just...
Welcome back. Al, after a 2-1 win, we're in the final. What was your memories of the 90 minutes?
Well, it was obviously a great result. I mean, you know, a dream again to go back to Wembley and try and win the FA Cup for, not for ourselves but for the club as well. But I mean, the 2 goals we got a tremendous start, didn't we? I mean, a corner kick from the maestro himself, Mr. Gordon Hill, you know, and
your roommate.
My roommate. I don't wish to go back on that. Because I'm fed up with his Norman Wisdom blooming antics, but
we were all fed up with those.
But he took a great corner. Stuart Houston sort of got up well and backheaded the ball, and we got a lucky break, but it went straight to Jimmy, and because Jimmy Greenough didn't miss from that sort of distance, and it was in the roof of the net. So what a great start for us, and because you know, when you see the fans and 55,000 standing and rocking, and then you know you say, so hey, we got a chance here, and because a few minutes later we scored again. I mean, Gordon Hill, tremendous ball down the side, left hand side. I think Stuart Pearson got up and headed it, and did you knock it on or something? But Gordon kept on running.
I think it was Gordon Hill.
Yeah, Gordon kept on running, had a shot, deflected straight to Stevie Coppell, who sort of volleyed it into the top left-hand corner. 2-0 up in the semi-final, you know, after about 15 minutes is absolutely tremendous for any team, and looking forward to sort of, okay, let's push on, which we did do.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember this, Albert, before the game, in the tunnel, when we were waiting to go out on the pitch, we were waiting and waiting and waiting. At the time, Leeds were famous for the tricks, if you want to call it, and wait to tell the referee to get them out of the dressing room.
That's right.
And then eventually, after us waiting for about 4 minutes, one by one, they came out of the dressing room, and of course they were all 6 foot plus, none more so than Joe Jordan and Gordon McQueen, who, especially Joe, had a hand in the equalising goal. Well, or should I say an elbow?
He had a back forearm, I think he had, because I mean he really smacked Jimmy Nicholl right across the throat or the face, and somehow Tom Reynolds, the referee, gave a penalty to him, and of course it's like everything else, it's 50-50 I suppose, or whatever you want to call it, as a penalty. I thought I was pretty unlucky, to be honest. I nearly got Alan Clark's penalty, but 2-1, but brought them back in the game. And as longer the game went on, and because now they're back in it, they put quite a bit of pressure on us. They didn't really, I didn't have quite a lot to do about making saves, you know, it was just sort of clearing up at the back and things like that. But, you know, it gave them the opportunity to push on. You know, but that's it, wasn't it?
I thought what was interesting at that time, Al, was when you look at the game again and you see the referee and how he referees the game.
Yeah.
No fuss, gave decisions. I remember late on when we were sort of clinging on and Sammy took probably about 30 seconds to a minute to take a throw in. All right, it's a yellow card, but there was no flying across the pitch to confront the player, and that happened with a lot of decisions. And I think the referees at the time.
Well, if I remember right, Lou, didn't they have to come in the dressing room before the game
always
and talk to us, didn't they? And they sort of put down a marker. That's how I want the game to be played. Which actually, when you see it now, it really worked, didn't it? You know. The only problem I had was the cameraman near me when I was taking goal kicks. The cameraman was right on the blooming goal line, and I had to make a sort of gangway to take my goal kicks. But apart from that, nothing else went wrong, really.
And I think looking at the Leeds penalty kick again, I think nowadays, you know, with so many cameras around the ground, and the referees and with their assistants having the earpieces in, you know, Joe may have got sent off, I felt, for that.
I think so.
It was an elbow.
I think so, and he probably, well, when you see him again, just remind him. You know, he was
always do.
But yeah, I don't think there would have been a penalty decision then. I think, like you said, Joe would have got sent off. But the annoying thing is, like, you're on the pitch, you've got to keep playing. You're looking at the clock and how long to go, and you're trying your best to try and score again. And well, actually, we should have had a penalty.
I was just going to say that. We could have all wrapped up, couldn't we?
Yeah, because I think Stuart Pearson went into the box, didn't he? And Gordon, and they got pushed over the pair.
Yeah, it was Gordon Hill was pushed in the back, a blatant push, and somehow the referee decided to give a free kick to Leeds United.
Perhaps he was a Yorkshireman. You never know.
I think Tom Reynolds, the referee, was from down south. So, Alex, 539 appearances for Manchester United, but a better start than that. 2 goals. Tell us all about them.
Well, I don't know if you remember, Lou. We were pre-season actually in Murcia in Spain, and we drew against Penarol, and it was like a 4-team competition, 2 Spanish teams and us and Penarol, and I finished up taking a penalty in the shootout, and because I scored and I saved a penalty, and that was it. Never thought any more about it, but. Come the start of the season, someone said in the dressing room before we went out against Leicester, I think, who's taking the penalties, boss? And he said Alex, and I couldn't believe it. Because we got a penalty against Leicester, and I put the ball, well, I sent Peter Shilton the wrong way.
And that boss you're talking about was Tommy Docherty.
That boss, yeah.
I mean, how surprised were you when obviously the Doc left?
Well, it's like everything else. I mean, I was surprised because you've just won the cup, and you know, we'd had a bad sort of era, you know, decade with United going sort of getting relegated, and quite a few managers, you know, had taken a job. But we won promotion, we won the 2nd division, then we got to finished 3rd in the league, got to the cup final, and got beaten, and then we got to the cup final again and beat the favourites Liverpool. So it looked as though, you know, he was there to stay, but. Couldn't believe it. I was on holiday and heard the news, but that's football, isn't it?
Well, thanks a lot then, Alex. We'll see you next week for our final show, the 1977 FA Cup final versus Liverpool. See you soon.
The man in charge today, Derek Richardson from Lincoln, who's been refereeing for more than 25 years, having started in Pakistan when he was in the Air Force. Arsenal attacking the goal to our left. They're in their change strip, light tops and blue shorts, and anxious testing moments the first 10 minutes or so. Bailey finding Jordan, but Jordan under pressure from Young. McElroy trying Rice for pace. Houston with the throw. Houston again, wondered about the cross, now may be able to play it. Headed away well by Ricks. Buchan coming with Sunderland, and winning, and indeed winning a free kick for a foul. So McElroy to take the corner and swing it in towards Jennings, and McQueen heads in! A lot of accusing faces in the Arsenal defence as they come out in the 8th minute, a goal down. McElroy's corner, watch for McQueen. Jennings doesn't get anywhere near this. Stapleton, Sunderland turned that nicely for Ricks. Ricks in here with a real chance, but didn't make anything of it. Ricks, a player of so much skill, but finishing not his strongest point. He had a real chance here after a nice set-up. He's here clear, delays the shot, and in fact the ball is slid away, he doesn't get to it at all. McIlroy there supporting him. And some good bustling here by Wilkins. Bring it back to Houston. Wilkins again. And that's a good cross from Wilkins. Young beat Jordan to it, but it was a good ball from Wilkins. It's interesting to see him playing up there, playing in a nice cross here. Jordan well positioned at the far post, but Young had gone back to match him and concede the corner. Thomas, signal with the right hand, in swinger, and Macari's header just glances off the outside of the post. Rice not pleased, I think probably indicating there that there'd been some kind of nudge off with the back of an elbow. Ricks playing the quick one in, and Sunderland over the top. Beautiful build-up, and the final touch was the only poor contribution to a very good move indeed. Macari, clever bit of work. Jordan looking for the header, and it's in. The goal, I think, has been disallowed. Jordan spreads his arms. Good work there by Macari. I think it was Wilkins who got the header in on, or McIlroy who got the header in on the far side. Jordan who applied the finishing touch from an offside position. Nicol, Macari, Koppel, good save. But it was a very good, swift bit of work by Manchester United. Just 3 touches and suddenly Jennings was under pressure. Turned in on, and then the left foot shot, and it bounced awkwardly for Jennings. Steve Koppel a little bit unlucky. And there are a lot of men in there again. Thomas can score. Well, he could have scored if the goalkeeper had not been Pat Jennings. He was clear in there, and he hit it hard and true. But Pat Jennings showed why he holds the record number of caps for Northern Ireland. Just watch the agility and the speed of the reflexes here. Suddenly breaks to Thomas, hard, and that right hand goes up. Nichol's throw. Header by O'Leary, back again by Nicol. Now Brady under this. Jordan, nice little touch for Wilkins, and Wilkins a good early ball. And it's Thomas who benefits. Jennings has come out and got a hand to it, but Jordan will score, and that is 2-0. All made by a beautiful bit of vision by Ray Wilkins. Seen very early. There was the outside of the right foot to a difficult pass in the air. Thomas kept his head well, kept going. By this time Jennings is off his line, coming to meet him, manages to get a hand to Thomas's shot, but Jordan has been running on, hoping for just that kind of consolation. 54,295 the gate. That's only a handful fewer than were here on the Saturday before Christmas for Nottingham Forest. Thomas with the ball for Manchester United. Wasn't quite hard enough. It isn't easy to move the ball along the ground. Wilkins now has put Nicol in, and Nicol has won it well from Brady. Turned across and away by Rice after Macari had very nearly set it up for Jordan. Macari, and Thomas has made a break into a good position and played it across, and Jordan has won it back from Devine and is then bowled over from behind, and that is a penalty. An incautious challenge from behind with the ball wide out towards the edge of the area, and just that little nudge in the back of the knees was enough to give Manchester United their chance to go 3-0 in front. Sammy McIlroy will take the kick. Pat Jennings, who saved a few facing him, he's not going to save that one. Perfect penalty. Jennings, no chance whatsoever. 3-0. Worth. Beautifully placed. So it looks like a nice, comfortable end to a very important victory for Manchester United. It keeps them in the hunt, gives them useful margin between them and Arsenal, and the final whistle goes to signal a 3-0 victory by Manchester United, and a signal that it looks as though the First Division Championship race has turned into a two-horse race. Goals from Jordan, McQueen and McElroy from the penalty spot, making it 3-0 to Manchester United.